Okay, so and there's no echo anymore, so problem solved. Again, I made problem from nothing, so here we go. Okay, so we have another weekly community stream, and it's been really busy week for me. So
for me too, I think for all of us, it's been an eventful week, to say the least.
Yes, it has been. I've been trying to adopt this map analyzer, and I have to say I'm so full of excitement that I can't even describe how I'm feeling at the moment. It's been so mind-blowing to start using something like that. So
I am really happy that you are making use of it. Really, that's my goal.
yeah,
I want people to use that because I think it can make life easier, really easier for authors.
yeah, and even the simple functions that it has, and they are really game changer. Really effective and easy to use. So
1 second, the stream is not starting for me. Is that normal? I usually expect it to be starting by now.
yeah, just a moment. I'll double check.
Mine appears to be working. You might just need to refresh the page.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Do that first.
Yeah. It's live. Okay. Nice.
Brilliant.
Great.
Yeah.
I need to head off, but I'll watch the VOD later. Hope you guys have a good stream.
Yeah,
Thank you, Laddie.
Good night, Laddie. Go to sleep.
Yes, that's the plan.
That's
Cheerio.
the plan. Bye, man.
Okay, see you. Bye.
I have this. I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Unfortunately, he wasn't able to stay, but I think we can manage even without him. But big thanks to Laddie for everything he's done so far.
Yeah, Laddie is a huge reason of us being here right now. All of the work is done. And yeah, well, it sucks that he's in the other edge of the world, but that's life, right?
Yeah, that's life. Unfortunately so. Yeah. I have to admit, I haven't checked any games for the night. I'm being completely busy with my bot. But anyways, I think we will see some nice games tonight anyways.
Hey guys.
Good evening, Crypt, and good morning, Ketroc. I'm not sure what time it is in Canada.
Middle of the afternoon here.
Middle of the afternoon, okay. Hey guys, good to see you here.
How's it going?
Hello.
Great.
Hello. Nice to have you here. Actually, now Ketroc is here. I think most of us have seen already this drone drill, but I think we might have some viewers who haven't seen it yet. So could you please show us one game from the drone drill?
We can watch even 5 games. Each game is like 2 minutes long, so
Every once in a while it goes on to stage 2, but very rarely. Yeah, let me find a game here.
Yeah, because that was a really interesting idea, and I meant to program counter for it, but I've been too busy with the map analyzer, so I haven't got around it yet.
I'm shocked how many people have actually already coded a counter to it.
well, it's a vulnerability in all of the bots. Like you really found like a common denominator for everything except Micro Machine. I'm sorry, Micro Machine somehow beat that, but other than that, it was crushing everyone.
I think
actually it does beat Micro Machine. It got a little unlucky the first time it faced him, and by the time it faced him the second time, Micro Machine had already coded a response to it. So
yeah. I would expect nothing less from Raf.
Yeah, he's so fast with the updates. So
Yeah.
that's unbelievable how he finds the time. And well, it's not easy to program counter for every single thing opponent is able to do. So
Well, if your code is written in a modulated generic framework-ish, and I think his code is like that, so you can make it flexible in a way that it can be adjusted to stuff like that fast or relatively fast.
okay,
Ketroc, can you up your microphone a bit? I hear you a little low.
I don't hear
All right, is
Ketroc
that
at
any
all
better?
at the moment.
Yeah,
Okay,
much
now
better
I
now.
hear.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because last time you were on the stream, I watched the VOD after, and there was a significant volume difference between us talking. So
I see.
Is my voice okay for you at the moment?
Yeah.
Yamabushi, I didn't really look at the code, even though I have a fork of his repository. But I assume if they manage to add fixes and counters at such fast pace, it must be related to some framework that allows them to be flexible like that.
Or they just know the code like their own pockets?
Yeah, but if you have spaghetti code and you want to deal with a new scenario that you never considered before, you will probably have to refactor half of your code.
Yeah, that might be I understand what you mean. Depends on the situation, though. I think worker arrest should be rather easy to counter, not depending what the code looks like. But yes, I understand what you mean. It can be pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Like for me, I just learned week or two ago how to separate parts of my code in the different files. So I don't have any more 6,000 lines long one file of code. So
Yeah. One file, your bot used to, just to clarify for others, your bot used to be one file with 6,000 lines of code. And that's it, right?
yeah, that's it. So
Very
now I
easy to
have
maintain. Yeah.
very easy. I think it would be impossible for anyone else to understand even a word in it. So I think it will be better in the future.
Yeah. I'm
And
glad you're making this step and modulating your code, splitting it into different files and modules. It will make your life much easier.
I think so, yes. And I even understand now why people are doing that after 1 week.
Yeah, definitely. Ketroc, I noticed you ordered a match. Anything? Oh, it's like a match of drone
It's
drill.
gonna be a drone
Okay.
drill match.
Yeah, nice. We're gonna see it. We're gonna see it in all its glory. Smash
Yeah, I think
someone in 2 minutes.
I think I'll start it
Okay.
since this game looks pretty much done between
Yeah.
Spud and Rusty.
Yeah. Go for it.
I want to see it.
It's quite entertaining. It's really like. Never mind. I'm not gonna say anything. We're just gonna see it right now.
I had the micro already coded as a response to me getting worker rushed, so I just threw together a Zerg bot one evening. 'Cause I figured Zerg would be the best at doing a worker rush, where the only thing that matters is how many workers you have.
Yeah.
Not only how many, but the drill is a big deal because you slap them like you time it so you one shot the workers. That is a big deal, and
But I mean,
also
if you're doing the drone drill, like shield regeneration isn't relevant, like things like that, right? The main factor would be just how many workers can you get when you're doing the drill.
yeah, and
Whether that
timing
Zerg
the
can do it
slap
the quickest.
at the same time on the same target. Yeah.
Yeah, it never beat Micro Machine on the ladder, Raf. I believe you coded a response to it. So yeah, it probably would never will now.
Still, I think it can. Assuming we live in a paused world where nobody updates their bots ever, I think Drone Drill could have climbed to like top 3 easily.
Easily,
Which-
yeah.
Well, the issue is I can't do it on Pillars of Gold. So there's one map that's just like an auto loss. But other than that, I think in my testing, I think only Micro Machine had any win rate versus it.
Okay, guys, you can see now on stream what's going on.
Yeah, this is a 12 pool, by the way, so I'm already facing 8 lings on top of all of his workers.
That's impressive. Can we do you guys have the team viewer still open or not?
No,
guess
I don't
not.
have.
Because I would like the production tab. I don't know why it's not on.
Well, I
I-
lost at least 2 workers because I started with 16.
Yeah,
And maybe one more because I might have gone to 13 and build one at home. I'm not sure.
Yeah, you need to mine some minerals just for laughs and giggles, right?
Well, after you do the extractor trick, you actually get some money back. So I think I get like 63 minerals when I start my my walk across the map. So there's the opportunity to build another worker, but I'm at
Or
16
at
and
least
14
replace
supply.
one worker. Yeah, replace
Yeah.
one worker. That's also good.
Yeah, there is a follow-up build. I mean, like Terrans lift their command center and stuff, so I had to throw together some sort of build. So it just does like a 1 base meter rush as the follow-up.
okay.
Which actually, I had a game on Pillars of Gold where it actually just straight up beat tier with with a 1 base meter rush. Only because tier went for charge lots.
That's insane.
That's the micro. Just kind of stack up on that 1 mineral that's stuck between, that's like in the triangle shape. So they can only be attacked by 1 worker at a time. Meanwhile, I'm
Yeah,
attacking with all
and-
my workers at once.
And if the enemy is not choosing its targets, it also spreads the damage over all of your drones instead of like focusing one, while you are one-shotting their workers over and over.
I think I could
That's-
identify all those locations for every base, and then I have this option of starting this logic at any base at any time. So if a base gets harassed by zerglings, all of a sudden I can pile all my workers into the mineral patch and kill the
and
zerglings.
defend with your workers. That's brilliant. Yeah, like
Not so
hold
relevant for
the.
IDOC because I make planetaries at every base, but for an orbital post in a Terran, it would make sense.
Well, if you, and I know you like being very, very greedy. Okay, someone is on the team viewer because you just pulled the screen up.
I think it's just
Right?
it's left in a scrolled up position, so it waits for the
Oh,
bot to
okay.
retake control. So every game's going to start with it scrolling up.
Yeah.
Okay, we have production tab now, which is great.
I'll go ahead and I'll fix that.
So what I was saying is, it's you. I know your trademark style is like you're greedy. You want late game and you want to get there as soon as possible. So being able to defend rushes with workers is brilliant. Just with that simple micro on the mineral lines. But yeah, you also make planetaries and then you just forget about it.
I do have a short game I would like to check with you guys. I haven't seen this yet, but hopefully soon. So just a moment. Why I'm so rookie in this? Okay, now we should have. Okay. Once more. Okay. Should we check the Spiny versus Golden Armada first?
I want to, yeah, why not? It looks
This is
like
going to be a team kill from Rasper.
a team kill. Why is that? Oh,
Oh, because it's both his own bots.
oh, yeah. Those are both his bots. Okay, then it's a bit less interesting. Because
That's
I
fine,
know
we can watch it
I know
anyway.
Spiny is better, so you know I know Spiny is
Yeah.
like his favorite child, and the Golden Armada is like the The one you just send to the room or something. I don't know.
The one you drown in the river at birth.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's not that bad. At least I don't do that with my children. Well, I don't have any, but that might be why. Anyway, into another subject quickly.
Yeah, I'm going through the results right now, looking for interesting games with maybe new bots beating one of the top bots. Those are usually the most interesting, as long as no crash is happening and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, if it's a crash, then it's not interesting because it's a little bit a disappointment if you get win by a crash, so it's not so interesting anymore.
Yep, and that also brings a consideration I wanted to share with you guys. I was thinking about adding a test to new bots, obviously, but also when you update your bot on the server, it will run a few tests on that bot to make sure it doesn't crash to obvious things. Like it will do that for you, and you will get a notification if those tests fail before your bot gets on the ladder and starts competing.
So basically, if it does crash in the first frame or isn't able to...
No. A few tests. There are a few tests that I can think of because I'm starting to get familiar with why bots crashed. That we can you just like use one arena client to run a match between that bot and a specified bot that we create that is triggering those crashes if they're not covered. I mean.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the way we do it on SC2AI is basically we run the bot against an empty bot that just sits there and does nothing. And if the bot wins that, then it's good. If it doesn't, then there's problems.
Yeah. That's a great rule of thumb, I think.
Yeah.
If you can't beat a blank bot, something is wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's a really good test.
Okay, I have one I want to... I will need one of you with the sword to cue it for me. Oh, Ruff doesn't have a sword either. Can one of the... Only AI... I'm too lazy to log on to the AI Arena stream right now. So yeah, thank you. Ketroc, can you also cue the one I pasted?
Sure.
It's a game of Banbot BC beating Micro Machine from 7 hours ago.
Your no tilt TV.
In case, yes, I'm not tilt TV. In case you haven't realized, this is not the weekly community stream. This is the weekly Let's Watch Micro Machine Lose stream. Okay, so
only because Raf's in chat.
It takes a week
Yeah.
to even get a couple of these games.
Oh, it's also... This is interesting. It's Spiny and Fidolina. Fidolina is a new bot, and it looks very promising. I had the privilege to discuss some strategies and coding problems with Fidolina. Very smart guy.
Take a
And
peek at his source code. He looks like a really good developer. Very
really,
clean, made me jealous.
I don't know how to evaluate Java code, really. I mean, I don't know how to... I can understand what's going on.
If it looks like mine, it's not.
I haven't seen yours, and I haven't seen... I have seen his for a little bit, but again, I'm not a Java developer, so I don't have the... if I look at a Python code, I can instantly tell you if the code is structured correctly, if it's built correctly, if it's scalable, and etc. I can't do that with Java code. I don't really know the parameters to be looking for, really. Because there is so much verbosity in Java code. There's like 3 pages of code that does nothing other than
Yeah. I know exactly what you mean.
yeah. Like you have one method in Python that is 3 lines. In Java, it would be 3 pages of declarations that communicate nothing other than naming functions, and that's it. Like there's no even logic or code that explains what's going on. Just declarations of functions. Yeah.
I think when they added like functional programming capability, they had to do it in a way that kept it so it didn't break any old code. So it almost feels like it was hacked into Java. It's not implemented in a smart way.
Yeah, I that's one of the
Okay.
reasons
That's my feeling, anyways.
So Fidelina is staying in one base only at the moment. and
Yeah,
Spine is,
keep in mind that this bot is like 1 week old.
yeah, something like that. I will
Like he
double check
started
quickly.
with, yeah, and he already is doing impressive stuff, in my opinion. But I doubt he's going to beat Spiny, although you never know.
20th of September. So tomorrow it's 10th day birthday.
Nice.
And 1 week is super impressive when it comes to a Java bot because you basically have to build the framework by yourself first, and then you can start coding the bot.
Yeah.
So
Which
a lot of the
is
stuff you guys take advantage for in Python. You got to
in
kind of build
Python,
from
which
scratch.
is why I was trying to convince you, I still am, I'm not hiding it, to migrate your bot to Python, because I feel like developing in Python is more time efficient, and the most important resource for all of us who do this in our free time is time. You
Yeah.
know?
And if I could go back in the past, I would have chosen Python, knowing this. Or I might have chosen Python anyways. But now I'm pretty comfortable, and I already got my own kind of
Yeah,
framework
and
built,
also
so it's no big deal.
Yeah. And also, I like that you are like sort of a Java guru, and you help people such as Fidolina with queries, because I have personally have no idea how to answer Java questions other than.
I mean, I got some knowledge of the OCraft API that we use, but I'm not a guru of anything. Like this is my first coding I've done in like 10 years. So
Okay. Fidelina
Guys,
is taking.
this Fidolina is kicking ass.
Yeah.
Nice
Yes,
one.
it is.
That was beating Probot's champion. It's not just another bot, okay? That was
Yeah.
Spiny.
Yeah, it killed Spiny. I'm sorry, Rasper, but you are on the target list also now.
Yeah.
I think early attacks of a Terran bot is probably something a lot of bot authors are not ready for. Because when you think of like
I
my
think
bot, Micro
the
Machine,
composition
Genzi,
also.
yeah, no one does
I'm
like a
sorry.
timing attack with Terran.
Genzi
It's,
does. Genzi does. He has a few
I mean, like
a
a 2
reaction.
minutes maybe, but
No, like +1 steam, time and attack and stuff like that. But this one
Does he?
was
Oh, okay.
Marauder plus Hellbats, which is
It's a legit build.
insane effective composition vs anything that doesn't fly. It's so effective against stuff that doesn't fly. Those 2 units, you can throw in Medivacs as well, because Medivacs heal both Marauders and Hellbats. I used to run this composition in TVP, in Heart of the Swarm, because it was crushing Protoss back then. Like Marauders deal with Stalkers and Hellbats eat Zealots alive. You just deal with everything early game Protoss has. You have better composition. Simply,
Yeah, the Hellbats
simple
give
as
you
that.
your splash and your bonus to light, so then the Marauders give you the bonus to armored. And then if
Yeah,
you
and
just kind of shape the
Hellbats.
composition to your opponent's composition, you can do really, really well.
Yeah, exactly. And this just in, guys, ES Champ is not using Adblock. We are in 2020 and we found a person who is not using Adblock.
Oh God, do they still exist? Like, I actually find it really weird because like sometimes when I go to like other people's computers and they don't have it on, I'm like, why am I seeing crazy versions of this website with weird ads everywhere? It's like,
Yeah, exactly.
I have to admit, I don't have ad blocker.
oh, you should totally get it.
I not having ad block ruins my user experience in most web pages, honestly. Maybe I'm not seeing ads because I'm subscribed, actually. Because that
Okay,
could be.
okay, that could be it.
But
So,
I
I got
have.
a little bit lucky here that that the Micro Machines Reapers got stuck on his side of the map. Those Reapers are intending to go across the map and harass, but they got stuck by this bunker.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's. I assume Raf is already taking notes and writing draft for the patch for this.
I think if you run this game a lot, Micro Machine wins most of them. Because if these Reapers are actually doing a lot of harassment right now, he would be in a lot better shape.
Yeah, but the position of the bunker just screws the influence grid of the Reapers. They think they have no option other than bouncing up and down.
Is there any other way away from the main except that area there and the ramp?
No, you can. First of all, you can exit right at the edge of the ramp outside the range of the bunker, and then there's also an exit out the back. Like when I wrote my bunker contain to beat Micro Machine and Probots, which didn't work obviously, but I had to defend my main base and to do the bunker contain at the same time because there's always a way for the Reapers to get out.
Okay. Raf, you have to update the AI Arena version at some point.
I think you can already. Why not? I mean, there are no more updates for the SC2 AI tournament, right? So you won't be spoiling anything.
He will do it after the finals. That's okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, you still have to beat Spiny, you know?
Yeah. I think that's a huge thing for the Benbot that it denied that Reaper harassment.
Yes,
It
of course.
gave him quite a bit of time to make workers to macro up.
And also, Micro Machine by this time is probably taking his third base, and right now is only taking his natural.
Yep.
So it also delayed the macro by a big margin.
Yeah. When I wrote this versus Micro Machine, you could actually just flat out win the game with it because the bunker would contain the Reapers, and then if you get siege tanks there quick enough, it would deny the Cyclones from being able to bust out. And then if you throw down a missile turret, it denies the Cloak Banshee. And then with all those three shut down, there's just nothing that Micro Machine can do at that point. He's just stuck on one base for the remainder of the game.
Or you just take the valuable time that the bunker is buying you and triple expand and get massive economy lead while he's trying to take his natural and busting through your natural.
The difficulty with that is
your
that both
bunker.
the Reapers and the Banshees might go out to harass. Sometimes they stay home to try to deal with the bunker unsuccessfully, but sometimes they go out and harass. So you can't be too greedy behind it.
Yeah, this is something that I don't understand. Like now he's building a missile turret, which is fine, reactive. You saw a cloaked banshee, okay, rocket turret, but you're playing against Micro Machine. Is there a game where Micro Machine is not making cloaked banshees? I don't think a game like that exists, right?
Yeah, but you don't want to code your bot that way. You want your bot to be able to handle any scenario. You don't want to have it, okay, I can beat Cloak Banshees, but only if I know I'm playing Micro Machine.
No, but
You
like
want to do it in a way where it can work versus any turn.
Yeah, I agree. Optimally, what I would want to do is get a scout in the right timing that shows his tech lab researching or whatever on the starport, and then drop the turrets. But I feel like it's really easy to shut down that specific strategy against Micro Machine. However, I'm talking out of my ass because I have no experience actually doing that.
I'm planning to make a Reaper scouting with the map analyzer, and I think I will try to use it first against Protoss units because my bot is really vulnerable for the one base Tempests. It's not able to defend it correctly, but if I can scout the Stargate, was it?
Yeah,
It would be,
Stargate, and Fleet Beacon as well.
yeah,
And
that would
Tempest, obviously.
that would help me quite a bit to defend against one base Tempest builds. To get some Vikings ready, shoot down the Tempest. So I'm going to do that once I get my bot alive again. It's now complete mess because I've been so excited.
Yeah,
Yeah,
trying to play catch
refactoring.
up on your Viking count is never a good thing versus Protoss. You have to know if they're going Tempest, and then you have to know their Tempest count. So not only like knowing when they're starting their Tempest attack, but sometimes they'll be building up their Tempest force in the fog of war, and you got to keep track of that somehow.
You
Yeah.
say that assuming that the Terran is not core army is not Marines, but if the core army is Marines, we can see in the human ladder Tempest are pretty useless. Marines just
Yeah.
the micro might be a bit complicated because you need to know when to dive in under the Tempest with the Marines and when not to. But Marines just tear those apart. Like
Yeah,
you need
Marines with proper micro would shred Tempest, but we don't have that in the bot world at the moment. I haven't seen a Terran bot that has that decisiveness with the Marines of knowing when to charge in. And really stutters looking forward to get underneath them.
I think I'm not a specialist in this, but I would think it's easier to scout and make Vikings to counter the Tempests. I might be wrong.
That's the thing. Vikings
Yeah.
are handicapped against Tempest. Tempest just have an advantage over Vikings.
How so?
Because they have a superior range. They can abuse that.
Yeah.
But Marines are, first of all, more expandable than Vikings. And secondly, very mobile in a way that you can bring them under the Tempest before the Tempest can get away.
Yeah.
That's why this
Terrain
doesn't
get in the way.
What do you say? I'm sorry?
As long as terrain doesn't get in the way. Like if there's a cliff or an edge or something.
Yeah, sometimes it gets complicated and you might need like a medevac to elevate the Marines over or something, but
Vikings are also maybe not as much so as Marines, but they're also very cost efficient versus Tempests. Like if you had perfect decision making of when to charge the Vikings in and when not to, then you just absolutely obliterate Tempest dollar for dollar.
That is true, but Vikings.
Hard.
But what other Protoss units are Vikings gonna be good against other than Tempests and maybe Void Rays, which also Marines shred Void Rays, right? I feel like Vikings really limit your. Vikings are not good against Stalkers. The opposite, actually. Really? I don't think so, but okay.
They do a lot of damage on the ground versus mechanical because they have that double damage versus mechanical. But yeah, as a ground unit, that's pretty terrible versus everything.
I mean, when you get
see
to
them in like a probe line, they empty a probe line in like a second. They do a lot of
damage.
That's for sure.
Yeah, the harassing with Vikings is awesome. I really like that. But when you get to a point you need to use your Vikings as a ground unit, something went wrong, in my opinion.
I don't mind even
unless you're like winning big time and you just lang your Vikings to win the game, okay. But if it's like, oh, we need more ground forces, let's use the Vikings, something is not right there. Like you needed to plan it differently, in my opinion.
Like at least with the way Protoss bots are built today, if I make it to the late game and I'm not dying to Tempest, then I just always win. So if I kill all of his Tempest and I have all these Vikings left over that are doing nothing, I'm fine with that because as long that just means he'll never be able to build up a Tempest Force again.
Yeah.
But I think kind of like a lot of that is just because the metagame has shifted sort of like towards Tempests. I think like if we were using kind of other units as well, other late game units, like kind of like disruptors and that kind of thing, then it's possibly that might change. But I think just most Protoss, or at least most high level Protoss bots, are using Tempests at the moment, which is it's
You can
might be
say
something.
disgusting. You can say disgusting, Crypt. It's
Yes,
okay.
yes, it is absolutely disgusting.
Yeah. Look at this
I'm not hitting
game.
too much anymore now. My bot's pretty good against them, but man, that took a lot of work to get your bot to
Exactly.
be good against
Yeah.
You
Tempest.
invest so much effort into countering something that for the opponent is like 4 lines of code.
Yeah, just stay at max range. That's like the
Yeah.
basically the only code you need for Tempest, and you can win a lot of games with that. Some
But
of the
it's
bots more clever. I remember like Tyr had he would try to buffer the Tempest with Phoenix. I also think bots that work carriers into their Tempest Force are interesting, because sometimes like what works against carriers doesn't work versus Tempest, and vice versa. So if you're
Yeah.
facing like 5 Tempests and 5 carriers, like okay, I want to keep my Vikings back because there's carriers, but I want to dive them in because there's Tempests, and that can make it really complicated logic.
That gives me a headache just to try to translate this into a mathematical formula for how to get my Vikings to attack. Like you need to do some serious evaluation there. Anyway, looks. I'm sorry. Yeah, Savelas.
Yeah, for the I think Golden Armor has a build that has Tempests and carriers, and I think that's quite difficult for the Vikings to encounter. So it does require quite a bit from the Viking control, and it's difficult composition to overcome.
There are also caveats to those. I mean, if he's rushing those, it means he has a lot of vulnerabilities early on because he's going for tier 3 units really early. And late game, it's a different game. If you have your entire tech tree as Terran, you have Ghosts, you have Ravens, you have, I don't know, Cyclone, anything you want, it's easier to deal with Tempest Carrier, I feel like.
Yeah, but
I feel like
the
Ghost
problem is
definitely something that bots could take advantage of, and it's something that I think all of us Terran bot authors are slacking on.
Yeah, I think
Ghost could be really powerful late game.
Yeah, I think the big difficulty is if you're trying to attack Protoss early, the likelihood is most bots will have either like 1 base or 2 base, and will have shield batteries and photon cannons up and everything, and that's how they survive the early game, pretty much.
That is fine. That means they're spending their resources on cannons, shield batteries, and gate units to stay alive, and not Tempests and carriers, which is fine by me. I don't mind forcing them to spend their money on that and then move on to the late game.
But I think the problem is
not supposed to win this game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think MM is crashing here. Yeah.
Oh no!
Well played, Benbot BC.
Yay!
See, landed Vikings causes MM to lose.
Yeah, there we go.
No, actually, MM won.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I thought that was supposed to be a game where Benbot wins. I don't think it is.
But
Okay.
yeah, just going back to what you were saying, like the problem is the value that the Protoss bots get out of those defensive structures is so much greater than the value of any attacking structures that you can send at them at that point in the game. So that's kind of the reason why they get to the level, up to those Tempests, at least in the games they win.
Yeah, rough. This is probably a bug. No, he's right. This is recorded as a loss for MM, and
Yeah,
he won the game.
but I think Lokopu is completely right. Benbot lasted more than 10 minutes equals victory. So
Yes.
Oh, rematch. Okay.
I hope this is not same case as last time.
Oh, I found the proxy. That's something.
Yeah.
Oh, but he's sending all of his SCVs across the map because he still cares about. Okay, there he finally pulls back.
Micro Machine decided to go away. Is it because the one SCV?
Yeah, I think as soon as he's scouted, he just gives up.
Yeah,
Okay.
if he gets scouted, he switches strategy.
He had a match versus Sharpened Edge where he like repetitively tried to get this proxy up and failed and then bugged out. And then I think
Yeah.
after that match, he decided that he shouldn't be so
I think this is
persistent
the
with his
same
proxy.
game. I'm sorry. Is this
Is
the
it?
same ID,
It just
maybe?
happened to, the random one happened to queue up the same one. All right, I'll go next.
Yeah, it's the same game. It's 355-898.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can move to the next. It's not same ID. I think it is.
Yeah,
We
let's do
will
it.
see in the VOD.
Yeah.
Oh, so maybe this one was the Banbot win, and actually everything was recorded correctly because I was requesting this one. Where is it in the chat history? Yeah, I was requesting the 898 ending one.
Oh, okay. So you both
And
requested the same matchup?
it's the same
Or the
matchup,
same-
but in my case, I picked one where Banbot beats Micro Machine.
Okay, I'll load it up again.
Okay.
So it just happened to be on the same map with the same spawns and the same strategies.
Hey, Spood!
But it's a different game.
Hello.
What's
Hello
up,
and
man?
welcome.
We miss you. I just want you to know that. You've been very quiet lately.
Yeah, I haven't been doing anything.
That's
Well-
that's my goal in life, I think.
No,
To-
but
to-
just in terms of bot development, I mean.
Oh, I meant in terms of anything. Just not do anything.
Yeah, I know that feeling as well, so it's all right.
By the way, Spud's bot is open source, and there are a lot of very nice things there. I actually copied some of his ideas and even code snippets from his bot to my own bot that knows how to mine minerals at this point.
Like what snippets?
I really like the evaluation, like should build SEV, should build supply depot, should expand. Like you're asking instead of deciding, and then you're checking a list of conditions that determine if you should build another SEV or you should do whatever. I really like that methodology in general for decision making for the bot. Like
Yeah.
you I hope you get what I mean. Like
yeah. But there's also like it has some pretty weird things like the order in which things are built is not exactly like well defined. So there's some like for example, I can have it's on purpose that I list the starport before a factory in some cases because I want, like, if I can make a starport,
you want Vikings, yeah, but you don't have a factory.
No, but like this sort of stuff that there's like some pretty ad hoc things that just like it works fine, but like it may not be obvious like why it is the way it is.
I see. But yeah, so I'm trying to I took that idea and I'm trying to add like a priority to that. So if the evaluation ends with yes, we should train another SEV, it comes with priority. Like, so if we need SEV, Marine, and I don't know, to expand, there is a priority for all of these, which syncs them, like what comes first.
Yeah.
This is very easy to say, hard to do, by the way. But yeah.
Yeah, I like my bot currently it builds like it essentially it builds all the time, but it's just sort of how do I say it? Like there's some like limits for like in terms of how many production buildings there are per base, so it doesn't like just build units or whatever. So it takes up and so, but like it doesn't. So like it, let's say it doesn't have anything that I need a tank now, so I won't build marines or something like that.
Say again. I'm sorry. I cannot do two things at the same time.
That my bot doesn't have anything like that where it could say that, like, let's say that I need a tank now as soon as possible, so I won't build marines or something like that. That it will build marines all the time.
So you don't eat up your money, and then you don't have enough money for a tank, and la 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 la.
Yeah, that the way it works is just that like it won't build more production buildings per base than is sort of defined. So like in the end, it's not too bad, but like if there's a very fast rush, it may be a problem that I don't have the appropriate unit ready.
That's actually a very, very big deal, having a mechanism that, because just saving money for something to build in a hard-coded way is can have many flaws. But writing a code that lets your bot evaluate what it needs and then reserve money for that, like instead of
like one thing that where I think I will or where I thought I need something like that is that there are quite a few of these bots that do some sort of contain, like cannon contain or whatever, and I thought that like it's probably
siege
good.
tank.
Yeah, it's probably good to get a tank and just kill the cannons, but like, so I don't want to get some like weak like marines without any upgrades and run them into the cannons because they just die.
That's another thing. Evaluating when you should take the fight. I see many bots sending units one by one, which usually ends in silly losses.
Yeah.
Silly losses, to say the least.
Yeah, it's one of the hardest things is to work out when you should send reinforcements and when you should just regroup.
And when you need to give up an expansion or anything, just give it up, fall back, regroup. You don't have to fight for everything. Sometimes the right decision is to fall back, which is not something I think many bots do. Raf, don't worry about it. I have the attention span of 3-year-old, so I can only focus on one thing.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, going back to that, I think a lot of humans don't particularly assess that very well either. So it can't all be blamed on the bots.
Yeah, definitely. And authors need to put that into mathematical terms, when it needs to be a mathematical equation that determines if you should give this thing up or fight for it, which is fascinating, but as well very hard to do properly.
Yeah,
I think Ketroc had some very nice ideas on how to some special metrics on how to evaluate some of those situations.
Yeah,
Ketroc?
but the first issue you mentioned is a similar one that I have. I just kind of build the amount of production I need for the amount of bases I have, and then I don't do any sort of mechanics for saving, which is an issue for me because sometimes I go up to like 5 bases, build the production for 5 bases, and then I get knocked back to 2 bases. And because I have all that production, I'm never able to save up the money to expand again because I'm just spending all, like, unless I max out, I'm just spending all my money on units. So I need to add some saving mechanic as well. I did a quick hack where I just stopped mining gas, and that way I'm forced to pull up minerals for an expansion. But it obviously only works for saving for an expansion.
Yeah, the only thing I save for is an expansion. That I actually do save for, like when I have like the existing bases are too saturated or finished.
Yeah, that's definitely the most important one.
I do have a my bot functions when it decides I have to expand. It will stop unit production and basically everything, every production until it has 400 minerals, unless there's enough enemy units in my base in my side of map. In that case, it will postpone the expansion.
That's smart. Because that is an issue, right? Because often when you're dying, two things are true. One is that your army needs to get bigger because it's smaller than your opponent's. And two is that you need to expand because you just lost a couple bases. So if you don't build the army first to deal with his army, then you'll never, then trying to build an expansion is not going to work.
I think a better approach might be to evaluate your economy and set your production priorities according to that. Meaning, even if you have 6 barracks, if you're only mining from one base, you can only produce from 2 of those barracks, you know? So if you know you're mining from only one base, don't even try to queue up units from all of your production. Keep it like, I think it's a simple relation table, like between economy and production that can be used in this case.
Yeah. I mean, one thing I do is, all my production is starports, just the way my bot is. But the one thing is, like, I only add production if all of my existing production is active. So I'll only ever add a starport if I'm already building from all my other starports at that moment.
Yeah, that's how my
very
bot
smart.
does it also.
So it's
That's
not
very
like,
smart until you
build
lose a bit.
2 starports per base I have. It's more build a starport if I'm floating money and I can, and all my starports I have are active.
Yeah, Mabushi is already looking to snipe my bot. My bot is not going to be snipeable, and if you manage to hack your way into winning it, you will get bombarded with salt chat messages on the end of the game. Bombarded. I'm already collecting quotes from Rick.
Oh, Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. That's going to be fun.
Have we seen games with some of these new bots on the ladder? Like Bomb
We
Picker?
watched Fidolina. Those actually no, but let's look for one. Maybe we can find something
If
good.
you can find interesting game, I want to say that I was really impressed for Ketroc bot responding for Anibot messages in the Probots, and I made a chatbot that is collecting chat messages from the AI arena, and
Oh yeah.
programming the responses there manually. So should be relatively easy to add in existing bot, and but I still want to test it a little bit so I don't crash anyone else's bot. But it's free to use if somebody wants it.
I would like to recommend that. It's a very clean and simple library for saving everything that is printed out to chat in your bot games, and then you can just collect it and set up responses for those, which I already know people like Ketroc love doing. So there you go.
we know, Yamabushi, that you are saving all the messages already.
Yamabushi is planning his strategies based on the chat, not only looking for comebacks.
I really do love the idea, though. Snipe your enemy based on the enemy chat messages. So I'm fine to lose a games for that, but now I modified my bot a little bit. Every time it loses, it stays silent the next game when it's choosing
I-
random strategy, so it's not
I
giving
would-
up
I
any
would-
information at that point.
Exactly. I would just print out in team chat, like the chat that only you can see, the real strategy, and in all chat, I would literally pick a random strategy and print it out every time. So there won't be any pattern. You wouldn't be able to reverse engineer it. It's not a code. It's just random. That's it.
Yeah.
Our Strelok has a good line. Oh, that he like communicates a fake strategy. Yeah.
Yeah,
Those are the kind.
It's basically just does an entire fucking essay every game. It's like literally scrolling up chat messages. I was doing it in the SC2AI tournament. It's like he has like about half a page of random stuff, and you can't see what's going on.
It's all this like Russian hacker stuff. It's like, do you want to
Yeah.
install Putin.exe? Answer yes or yes.
Absolutely.
Copyright. I remember something about copyright and stealing my software or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Install
Yeah, it's
Putin.exe.
really funny, but
Yes
only
or
once.
no. Install Putin.exe. Yes or Novichok. Sorry, that one fell flat.
No.
I think
I
that's
liked it.
fault in the bot world.
So these are bots that I've never seen before. I'm not sure if you guys covered them in previous weeks, but there's a lot
We
of new
covered
names.
Nickbot Learns, which is looking promising, by the way. I haven't seen Bomb Shaker either, so it's interesting to see.
There's like
We watched
example bot,
some-
Access 1972.
Oh,
Wizard
Bomb
Hat.
Shaker is the Ketroc bot. Is the bot that at least I thought was yours, Ketroc, because
Oh, I mean
it
Ravens?
literally plays like you play as a human.
Yes.
I assume it's going for the same strategy, which is mass ravens again. I hope.
It recently well at the first game we saw it play.
It did very well. It was clean and executing it really well, and the unit composition was really complementing each other and covering the weak spots of each other. Like Hellions were under the Ravens, waiting for Marines to come, and Cyclones were a little bit back, waiting to lock on Vikings in case those come, and the Ravens just got free value over and over and over. It was disgusting how much value the Ravens got back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like the
And
auto turret won't be strong in the bot world, but since no one makes auto turrets, probably no one's coded a response to it. They just probably fight it like it's any other unit. And
Yeah.
if it ever became popular, I'm sure bots would realize that, hey, maybe I should just back out of auto
Well-
turret range and wait for 5 seconds.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, it was against Dan the Man 3. And the Ravens actually dived on like siege positions, siege tanks, and stuff like that. So you can't run away. You need to unsiege and walk away,
Yeah.
right? So there was a lot of value there.
I mean, even my bot throws down a random auto turret here and there, and I've never seen anyone retreat from the auto turret. They always just fight it.
Yeah, he's producing Ravens and he's taking the building shield armor thingy. I forgot the name. For the turrets, because the turrets benefit from that upgrade.
Yeah.
Nero steel
armor.
plating or armor, yeah, could be. So we're going to
Steel
see
armor now, 'cause they combine two of the upgrades.
we're going to see a bot in the image of Ketroc.
So did I understand correctly? Those turrets that Raven shoot on the ground, they benefit from the range upgrade for the missile turrets.
Yes, and the armor upgrade as well that is researching
Ah.
right now.
Yeah, they're considered structures, so the 2 structure upgrades.
And SEVs can repair them, even though I wouldn't recommend that, but they can.
Okay.
Here we go. The turrets are starting. You can see them queuing up. So a
The
bomb
Ravens
shaker.
are coming.
Yeah. I was expecting to see this playstyle from Ketroc, honestly. But I'm glad we got here. I'm glad we have a Mass Raven bot that is actually executing well and kicking ass. Having
I like how
said
he
that,
tries to
is
throw down auto turrets to help the fight, but his ravens are on the other side of the map.
yeah. It needs to get to a critical mass of ravens, which is not there yet, but looks like he's going to get the time he needs to get there.
For Nickbot, I have to say it's a machine learning bot. Basically, it uses random build order at first and then tries to refine it from game to game. Not necessarily, it's not going to the top 10 quite fast, but it was really fascinating when the author was on the stream and telling about the bot. So I will be following with an interest how it will fare in the future.
Yeah, I don't think you can realistically expect any machine learning bot to climb to the top quickly. The whole concept is that it improves over time.
Depends how much
So
machine learning they're doing too. Some are like completely scripted bots, but they just choose their build with machine learning.
yeah,
Others try to
I
like
don't.
micro their units with machine learning, in which case you're always going to end up at the bottom. This
Yeah,
one's
I don't.
in the middle, where he makes his own build order. From
Exactly,
machine
which is fantastic in my opinion. You section out core part of the strategy, and you let the bot learn how to do it by itself. I think it's a great way to get started. You don't have to have your bot entirely choose everything. Micro is the most hard thing to train, right? So I'm fine with like having a scripted micro and build order done with machine learning.
Someone was running a Twitch stream where he was trying to teach a Reaper to micro versus zealots on
That
with
was
machine
Mind
learning.
Games, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he ran it for 9 hours, and at the end, it just learned to run away.
Yeah, exactly, because they lost score when they died, so they learned that if they don't die, it's better than dying, right?
Better than fighting and losing.
Yeah.
I mean, at least they're learning the right things. Like not dying is better than dying.
Yeah, hide in the corner of the
correct,
map,
yeah.
and
yeah.
that's
that
the
works.
optimal action. Yeah.
Actually, not dying is good solution if you want to live long.
You can actually leave out that parameter. You don't need a negative score for dying. All the positive scores for your kills and damage would take that into effect.
But you want to teach your bot to preserve the Reapers, not to YOLO them and suicide them in. I mean, I mean,
if you YOLO them and suicide them in, they're not going to get any kills, or they're not going to get much damage done. The more you preserve them, the more offensive damage you'll get. So I think it would take that into account if you just reward the positive things.
Yeah, you just need endless stream of enemy units popping to replace the died one. So with this, you can get as high reward as possible for the training.
Yeah, I think he just made a map that had like a zealots on like maybe every screen.
That's
So,
Nike
like,
had made that map. I
20
think
away from every other zealot. Yeah,
I think Nike made a map like that. The only problem I had with it is that it was coded in a way that the grenade caused a reset or something like that. So you can train your Reaper to use grenades, which in my opinion is a huge part of Reaper Micro, because you can mess up the position of the enemy with the right placed grenades if you do that correctly.
Yeah.
So
what about
anyway, we're watching the Mass Raven strategy win yet again, and doing it with style.
Yeah, those auto turrets killed like 1,000 Marines.
Yeah.
You can see the resources lost. This is so cost effective. It's just disgusting, really.
And the bomb shaker bank is huge, absolutely enormous.
Including gas, which is most of his units are costing gas. So
Yeah. Well, if he didn't max out, it probably wouldn't include gas. He's
Yeah,
probably floating
yeah.
minerals for the most part. So, Bomb Shaker's listening. He could try expanding more. You know, you can always turn those minerals into more bases, and those more bases means more gas.
Well, he's not losing units, so why? I mean,
But
he's
I
not
am
trading. He's trading turrets for units that cost money.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if he weren't maxed out, he'd probably have a bank of like 4,000 minerals and 0 gas.
Oh yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So that 4,000
Although
minerals
he's
could have been more command centers, which translates to more gas and income.
yeah, that's true.
It's all about
And
finding the ratio for your composition you're going for.
yeah, he also dumps minerals on Hellions, but you want a ratio of units. You don't want. You can't dump all of the minerals on Hellions because then Hellions will become the core part of your army, which is not what you want. Oh, drone drill! Let's go.
Oh, another one. That was not
I
queued up,
wonder-
so we're out of queued up games.
Yeah, that's a randomly queued up game.
I wonder what's going to happen here.
I'm going to predict that
So if you notice the
drone
supply
drill.
here,
Yeah,
Oh.
here we go. Here
Zerg
we
can
go.
get
There
up
we
to like
go.
16 workers so fast. So even by the time I cross the map, he only has like a 1 or 2 worker lead, even with chrono boost.
And yeah. You can look at the supply at the bottom because watching the battle doesn't make sense really.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Oh no,
There goes all your workers.
that's
Yeah.
basically 1.5 minutes, and that's it.
That's
Yeah.
it. That's it. That's like, yeah. If this was like I don't know, corporation, Ketroc just found the perfect hack, really, or I don't know,
Yeah.
some kind of whatever, like just
I do
found
wanna
something.
try
I had
to.
this micro back when I very first joined the ladder almost. Like when I first joined the AI arena ladder, I noticed there's a bunch of like basic bots I was losing to, and one of them was like the better worker rush bot. So
Yeah.
I wrote this micro to deal with the probe rush. In fact, I think there was like 3 probe rush bots on the ladder back then.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. There's been a lot of probe rushes on the ladder.
I think it's only natural. The evolution, I actually I see it with my own eyes now. The evolution of the bots is very similar to the evolution of the human ladder. I mean, if you go to Bronze League, everybody's worker rushing or cheesing in any way they can. Nobody's doing anything complicated. Everybody's doing just basic all-ins and trying to get wins from that. And the more you progress and advance, games become much more complicated and games go to the late game, which is what we're starting to see more often, and I really like it. We also see it in the tournament of SC2 AI, which had some really, really entertaining games, by the way.
Yeah, it's been fun so far. Yeah, I especially like the Sharpened Edge versus Micro Machines series.
I just queued up the initialization failure.
Nice one.
Yeah, that was not the game to pick.
I mean, Sharpened Edge versus Micro Machine is pretty much like the El Clasico now of bot games, isn't it? I don't know, like either that or Micro Machine versus Gensi, which was.
Sharpened Edge is very, very robust, okay?
Yeah.
But unlike Micro Machine, I don't think Infi or Merfolk had committed a code change in like 2 months to Sharpened Edge. Like
Yeah.
it's not being maintained. So it's really impressive that it's still capable of staying on the second spot on the ladder. Like,
Yeah.
Could be
really.
wrong, but I think it's more or less retired. I think Infi is a lot more interested in getting the harvester to.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. If there are no code changes.
Yeah, I think he just said it got too verbose. Like it became too difficult to maintain so he's kind of started with a more cleaned up version, which is the harvester.
Doogie Howser.
Yeah, so these are two other names I've never seen before. So
Yeah,
Wizard Hat
yeah.
and Doogie Howser.
Yeah.
Doogie Howser is MindMe's Cannon Rush machine learning bot. which is looking good. It's really improving. You can actually see it improving, which is really nice. Wizard Hat, I have no idea who that is.
I might consider a Cannon Rush bot soon. I've switched my influence maps to be a size of 0.5 by 0.5, which means now I can perfectly map like placement grids.
Oh, you split
So
the
maybe
cells by
like
half?
the best spots. Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
You know,
that's
like
nice.
some structures I built, like 2x2 structures I built right on a specific point, so then the other structures I built on a half point.
We had a discussion about this recently. I remember Raf was also a part of it, and we couldn't figure out how to measure between two corners of a cell. And you say you figured out how to do that? Can you share the wisdom, please? Because it's a problem that many of us are facing right now.
Well, I don't really measure anything. I just how do I say this? Like I have like an influence map, and it used to be like every point in this 2D array represented a point on the map. So like 1, 2 would be point of 1 and 2, and now I've doubled the precision of it. So now it's every half point I look at.
Mm.
So by looking at every half point, it kind of represents like each little building grid. I don't know. I just feel like with this sort of precision, I can now figure out like where the optimal locations are to build cannons. You can find those little nooks inside the main base where you can like place 3 pylons to protect the cannon, sort of idea. I
I
think with
like
that sort of idea that the pulling workers like this.
look
would
at
work.
this. This game is pretty entertaining. I have to say.
Yeah. It's more pylons than cannons at the moment. But
Yeah, I guess we won't be
But
able
it's
to see
working
what
quite
Wizard Hat
nicely
actually
because
does.
you have to, if you get so there's so many pylons, you can't just take them all down before there's cannons up. So I think this is brilliant.
yeah,
I would highly suggest if anyone's writing Cannon Rush defense to not attack the cannons.
If you
They
can
generate hit points
just
really, or sorry, not attack the pylons. They generate hit points so quickly and they have so many hit points, it's just not worth it. If you just
I
only
also
target the
think
cannons or probes, you'll get the job done just as easily, and you don't have to pull
I
all your
also
workers
think
that way.
you should focus on just holding the high ground and not letting the cannon rusher have high ground vision, and just get out immortals that can smash this thing.
That's how
Here we
Micro Machine
go.
does it. He just holds the high ground and then gets units later. I take out the low ground as well because I find I don't have to pull that many workers if I only target cannons, and that way they invest even. They're wasting their money trying to do the cannon rush futilely.
By the way, Wizard Hat was stealing the gas from Doogie Howser, but joke's on him. Doogie Howser
doesn't
is
need it.
building nothing that requires gas.
so fine, take all the gas you like, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me load up another Wizard Hat game just because we didn't actually get to see what he does.
Yeah, that would be nice.
I think we can call this game here. Who else? There's an example bot. Have you guys seen him before?
No.
That
No.
sounds like an veteran bot.
Or Access 1972?
Oh, I remember the name from the chat. Yeah, he's a new author as well.
Yes.
It's only
From
played
the
65
Discord,
games
I mean.
and he's been.
I think we haven't seen
Crashing
any
them.
games from the X's.
He posted one game where it ended exactly at 1 hour, I think, which was kind of funny. I think it was on the SC2AI Discord. I don't remember exactly where.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a new author as well. We have quite a few new authors lately, and I love it. I have to tell you guys, I really love it.
It's brilliant to have new blood on the
Yeah.
scene. So it doesn't matter if the bot doesn't go to the top 10 in first week. It just doesn't matter. Just to have the new bots and see them grow from the beginning, it's brilliant to see that.
Yeah, and also the rate of improvements is like it's not linear. It's more like logarithmic. Logarithmic. What I mean is
yes.
logarithmic. Okay, so like at the early stages of development, your improvement is insane. Like your bot is learning new things and it gets better so much and so fast. But bots like the top 10, their rate of improvements are mostly bug fixes, not new features. You know.
Yeah, it's definitely good to have some new people on. Like, I'm constantly surprised how many people we get in there. It's really good.
Yeah, our community is fantastic. I have to tell you guys. I'm really glad I somehow came across this community.
Well, very happy to have you here as well. So that's good.
Thank you.
That's pretty cool, Wizard Hat. I like its unique strategy. So he's defending with cannons while he takes the ninja base.
Ninja base, yeah. I think ninja bases is a great idea because not many check for that. It's not a proxy, right? Nobody checks for proxies near a mineral line somewhere. There are other proxy spots. He's taking two. Nice.
I was going to do that when I first started my bot, but at that time, a lot of bots would just like scout by checking every single base. So I'm like, oh, okay, forget it. But nowadays, I don't see it too much anymore. So I bet ninja bases will be strong again. Also,
if you, and I'm sure Yamabushi already did research like that, if you can look at the path that they are taking and time it correctly, you can just take the ninja base after they scout that specific expansion, because they won't go back to it after that.
Sorry, I just want to point out the brilliance of this build too. So he seals himself in with cannons so he can't get any workers out. And because of that, he recalls his workers to his new bases when they're finished.
Oh.
Very smart.
Okay.
How does
you go up to like 25 workers on minerals at your main base, so then when the next is finished, you recall half of them over to the new base.
Oh, that's brilliant. You see, that's why I like new authors. People bring new innovative ideas. I love that.
Something humans do, but I assume he's just going to mass some sort of Stargate unit now, like mass void rays or mass carriers. You can do pretty good with 6 gas.
Yeah, especially when the enemies in one base only.
And he went batshit with the batteries. It's like, yeah, you're not getting here. You shall not pass.
It would take a while to get through that, yeah.
Like, do we need more batteries? Yes, we do.
Yes. Yeah, you can never have too many batteries. All he needs to do now is build a few nexuses so he can use the overcharge on all of them.
Yeah, and no, on AI Arena you can't, sadly. But it makes sense that he dumps his mineral on that because he's not building zealots. He doesn't care about ground units. And he has a lot of excess minerals from those ninja bases. So batteries only cost minerals. Cannons also only cost minerals. He's keeping his economy in check, mostly. Like now he's floating like 1K, but before that he was spending his money really well. So I guess it makes sense. I would also cannon and battery the ninja bases, because why not?
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah, I think that would be a brilliant idea to armor up those ninja bases.
I like it this way. I feel like the ninja bases are like an all or nothing gamble. You're gambling on the fact that they don't get spotted. So you want like all your
you can lose one, like
in case of like a 2 base all in or a 1 base all in.
Yeah, it's weird that Mad AI seems to have also like trapped himself in a bit there. But
yeah,
I'm
there's
not sure
space to move in and out, but
I think he's not trying to move out. It's just trying to move to a specific one point, and those units are body blocking each other. So
so I think when he actually chooses to move out, he'll be able to.
Yeah. Here we go.
Doesn't have more wins with this strategy.
Oh my god, they kill buildings so fast.
Yeah.
But many stalkers, I don't think they can handle this mass of stalkers.
No.
Or maybe they can, I don't know. I would bring a probe and build batteries here for the void rays. Wizard Hat, if you're watching, this is a nice feature to add to this strategy.
Definitely
when you move out, You can drop a pylon and drop a few batteries, and then the Void Rays can dance back and forth, recharge the shields.
But I think like with the strategy he has right now, he doesn't have to know anything about his opponent. Once you do that, you have to say, okay, well, where are his bases? You know, I got to find a position outside of his bases to set up this defense, and then I got to micro back and forth. What he has right now is just like a really, really simple bot that you can pull off.
Yeah, but it's innovative, and I'm impressed. I really like the. I mean, it's well thought out. Even though like he has excess minerals, again at this stage he cannot find ways to spend all of his minerals because he's not making zealots, he's not making any ground units. I guess he can spend it on interceptors eventually.
Yeah, over time the couriers will start spending it.
Yeah.
Those interceptors they cost only minerals?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a really nice game.
So Wizard Hat has nothing but losses in his play history. But I'm guessing it's because he crashes at the end of the games, because there's no way he's losing this match.
I don't think he's going to lose this match. I don't think so.
He has all losses, but maybe a bunch of these are actually wins. I
Yeah,
wonder
it
what
does
the
look
scores
like
are.
it.
That's interesting. I'm gonna check which language, if you are in his profile, which language is he written in?
It is Python.
Python? Because I
Could
was
be AI
gonna
arena, too.
blame Java, but I can't now.
It's always
Even
good to
when
blame
Java was
Java.
crashing, it wasn't Java's fault. It was the ML bot's fault. Because Java's like, okay, I'll wait like 3 games, and if this game doesn't get started, I'm just going to give up on you. So these bots would take forever to get started. The Java bot would just give up, and then it would cause a crash.
Yep, easy wins. Easy wins.
Yeah, so that was Mad AI's win there, apparently.
That was Mad AI win. Okay, that's another
Yeah,
thing that needs to
mistakes.
be looked at. We might have a bug with our result bookkeeping.
Okay.
2 games we've seen this stream.
Yeah,
that
one
were
thing-
wrong bots to win.
One thing we've noticed with the 4 point whatever it is client is that essentially sometimes the StarCraft 2 clients can get disconnected. So one client will be carrying on playing the game, and the other one will just be stuck there, like doing nothing. So that's actually been a problem on SC2 AI. But I didn't see it on 4.10, but I've definitely seen it on 4.12. So
Yeah, I know Dan has pushed a few improvements to the client, which are working fantastically, other than this bug that might be related.
Yeah.
I don't think that bug would ever give the victory to the wrong person, because I think the way they handle an AI arena is that if both bots get a victory, they scrub that game.
Yeah.
And when they desync like that, like one bot in each sync will be doing nothing, so it should always end in a double victory. So I think they handle that case.
Yeah.
Oh, it did beat Mad AI. The game was ending with 2-3-2, I think. Yeah, that's a win. That's registered as a win.
Yeah, for Wizard Hat.
Okay,
Yeah.
my bad. Sorry, yeah, I loaded up a game for Excess against Mad AI as well. I got mistaken which bot I was looking at here.
Okay. So no necessary bug in the AI arena.
No. Take it all back.
Yeah, if it's only Micro Machine, I'm fine with that. Fuck you, Micro Machine.
It's a feature in that case.
It's not a bug. It's a feature. Anyway, Access is a new author which took upon himself authoring a Zerg bot, which I respect enormously because I realized recently how much extra work Zerg authors need to do compared to the other 2 races, because they need to manage queens, larvae, and creep, which other races don't care about at all. And it's facing a Sharpie framework Terran bot, Rusty, which also has been improving lately, I noticed.
Really,
I
Rust was
think
not called Rust? That just seems wrong. Shouldn't be allowed that name unless you coded it with Rust.
I agree. I think he just wanted to okay, Terran metal, but not refined metal like Protoss has. It's more like shitty metal. So let's call it Rusty.
No, it's all part of the sharpened edge theme.
Yeah,
Does he like all of his
Blunty,
mods have
Rusty.
something to do with sharp, like Blunty or Rusty or Sharpie?
Yeah.
Baroness Zuli, you guys.
You're finding names I never
Yeah.
read or heard before, which is nice.
Just kind of looking down the bottom of the queue, like each season's queue, like the newest spots are always at the bottom. I'm just seeing these new names down here.
I have no idea what's going to happen in this game because those are a lot of queens and hydras. But they're fighting off creep.
Okay, I'm probably going to have to leave you guys. Thanks for the stream, and I'll catch you all
Thank
next week.
you, Crypt. Can you just tell us when is the next broadcast of your
Yeah,
of
we've got
SC2 AI
the
tournament?
we've got the semi-finals happening at 9 o'clock UK time next Saturday. That's
This
Micro
this
Machine.
Saturday, right?
Yes, this coming Saturday. That's Micro Machine against Spiny and
Which is
three-way. Yeah, that's going to be a fun one.
it's really hyped.
Yeah. That if you don't see that match, that's going to be a hype match.
And
the other
also
one
that
is
Yamabushi game, yeah. Okay.
yeah,
whatever.
that Yamabushi. Some other noobs qualified with three-way lover, you know. No, I
who
joke.
is he playing? Who is he playing?
Three-way lover against Strelok.
Strelok. That's also a hyped match.
Yeah, that's going to be good as well. Like Strelok has been improving a hell of a lot recently.
Yeah,
and three-way lover is basically always the bridesmaid, never the bride in like the SC2 AI tournament. So I think like he's made semi-finals a few times before and totally deserves a spot in the final if he can get it. But that's not to say Strelok doesn't deserve it either. So
well, when I look
but
at
yeah.
that final four, I think that Three Lover is like the huge dark horse. I think there's like three massive, like amazing bots, and then Three Lover, which is good, but like
Yamabushi, you're getting so much love here.
But I think Three Lover makes the finals. I think he's going to beat Strelok. I think it's just a really good matchup for him.
I think Strelok
in the finals.
Every time I watch Strelok, he's performing better than the last time I watched him. He's improving in a really fast paced. So I'm really hyped to see both of the games this Saturday are fantastic games. One of them is Spiny versus Micro Machine, which is what we all want to watch, probably. And the other one is also watching Strelok and Strelok beating Yamabushi, right? That's what we're gonna watch on the other game.
I don't know, like you know.
I'm just joking, Yamabushi. You know I love you, man.
I'd love to get to a final. It would be good, but you know, like it depends. Anyway, I have to go. Thanks for the stream, guys. I'll catch you in a bit.
Thanks for joining us, Crypt. It's always a pleasure to have you.
Thank you. See you. Bye bye.
Yeah, Strelok is looking ridiculously good now, but I noticed he does still have a weakness to Tempest. And when I think Tempest, I think of one Protoss bot in particular, and that's 3A Lover. So I think
he's also expanding to his third by default. So all of these early game rushes with Reapers are less effective, a bit less effective. You can't really.
On some maps, the third is really close to them. Well, that's not necessarily true. Yeah, the third's probably always going to be outside of Reaper range, unless the Reaper goes looking for it.
Yeah, the Reaper usually is not programmed to dance between the third and the main. It's programmed to dance between the natural and the main. So,
Micro Machine goes hunting for the third and fourth. I know that. Strelok Probably not.
It's definitely going to be interesting. That siege tank is so brave.
Yeah, I'm gonna quit this game because it's 200 supply to 18, and it looks pretty stuck right here.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is
Okay.
a longer game. Maybe you put out a good effort. It's like, nope, just Rusty got stuck.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it happens. It still happens. And I believe it will happen on maybe a lower rate, but it will always be happening. Like, that's part of software development. There will be bugs.
Yeah. I will look one game with you guys more, and after that, I really have to go. But you
Yeah, I
found
think.
game already?
Yeah, he's loading a game right now. I think
Okay.
I will live after this one as well. I have a new cat, by the way, and I just had to climb a really tall tree to get him because he knows how to climb the tree, doesn't know how to get off, and then he starts crying on the top of the tree. And on my way down, I got scratched by some herb or whatever, and it's itching like hell now. So annoying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Thanks.
Yeah. But at least I know I can climb trees. I can do that.
Sharkbot versus Spiny. This is.
This is a great game as well.
This will be a
Sharkbot is
good game.
another bot with a lot of potential. Another bot that every time I watch him, in this particular case, unlike Strelok, he's also bringing new strategies. Every time I watch him, he's doing like something different, and he's improving at a really fast rate. It's really a pleasure to watch him improve over and over. I should say it, probably, yeah.
Just in case him, because it might become conscious at some point.
Yeah, and take over
Signing at
the
each other
world.
already.
Yeah. I think that's our ultimate goal in the end.
The observer is a little bugged because I think there are zealots fight. Yeah. Oh, that's a nice response from Spiny. Spiny is not falling for that. It's like canceling the natural, dropping spines. I think Spiny's got this.
Yeah.
Because zealots are not
roaches
going to get through there.
Roaches kiting are going to be just shred these zealots too.
Yeah. Yeah, Spiny is too veteran to lose to a proxy gateway like that.
I think this could be the reason why we see so few Zerg bots. I think Zerg probably has the toughest time defending cheese. You really need to identify it and defend it well. And there's so
and
many
you need to
cheesy bots in
manage
the water.
your economy, queens, and larva in a way that's appropriate to defending cheese, which is entirely different when you just want to build your economy. It has like a lot of considerations that other races does not. At least in my opinion.
You don't get like
But
you don't get to wall off, or you don't get to do some of the easy defense strategies that
you could wall off with the
Terrence
queen
talked
and 2 Evo chambers or stuff like that, but yeah, normally you don't do that.
Yeah.
Also, you need to get creep over there, and
Yeah.
sometimes you just you're spending all of your energy on injects, right? So you can't get creep to the ramp. There is a lot of extra management to be done for Zerg that other races don't have to be bothered with.
I have to be honest, the Spine handled this really nicely. He
Yeah.
took out the zealots and then it went directly to the Sharkbot main. I think this is amazing.
Yeah, that was a textbook's response.
Yes, it really was. It really was.
Sharkboard's author Loco Puyo is saying we are underestimating the Zealots. I don't see how Zealots beat that. I don't think it's possible.
But no spines,
Especially-
no roaches, and you're just facing like lings and queens. So Zealots will have a great time versus that. It was just a really good response from Spiny there.
Yeah, and add to that Sharkbot did not have detection, so the roaches can freely burrow and heal up. Zealots don't stand a chance against that.
Oh, he had burrow as well. Jeez. But say you're just doing a normal Zerg build, and then as soon as you see the Zealots, you start spamming out Zerglings. Like that would never survive.
Yeah,
a Zealot
yeah,
rush
no.
Like that. You're just
You
getting
need
run over.
you need a wall. You need like a similar to Protoss wall, where you just put a Zealot as a gatekeeper. Zergs normally put a Queen as the gatekeeper. You need something like that against Zealot Rush. You can't just let them walk in, I don't think.
That was a great game. You guys want to hang around here still more, or should I shut down the stream?
I am going to be leaving. It was a pleasure again to be here with you guys and watch all of these games together.
Yeah, it was really nice time again.
Ketroc, are you hanging around or?
I'll take off when everyone else does, which sounds like about now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you
So
again.
thanks, guys. It was great, and we'll see you next week.
We see you
so-
next week.
I'll restart the
Savelas, you
stream.
can okay, Ketroc, you're going to restart. Great. Then I'll export it to YouTube.
Okay.
Good
Ketroc
night,
will
guys.
restart. Okay. Good night.
Bye.
Bye bye.